8:09, but quickly approaching 8:10. There it is. In studio guest, our friend Chris. He is the founder, owner, CEO of August Solar and Roofing, or is it roofing and solar? Which comes first there, Chris?
Roofing and solar.
Roofing first.
Yeah, we added solar in 2015. We started in 1990. So
also, if you don't have a roof, you can't have solar.
Yeah,
you have to have the one.
Well, we do ground mount systems, which aren't on the roof at all, but you have to have a good piece of real estate to make that happen.
Wait, hold up. We've never talked about that.
No, we have not.
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
You just opened the door. Let's talk about it. How does that work?
Yeah, so not all solar systems need to be roof mounted. We do what's called a ground mount systems, and so people that have a nice piece of land or maybe a good slope or something like that will actually install it out there and then run. We've got to do a lot of trenching and stuff to get to the main service panel and then install the panels there, so it's not on the roof at all.
Is that becoming a popular thing, or is how do we decide? You say you need real estate in order to do that, a nice piece of land, but is that something that people are really considering?
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of them, but it's definitely a consideration, especially if people don't like the look of it on their roof. And then there's the whole reason we got into solar is that you need to do a really good job of fixing your solar and waterproofing those attachments to your roof to make sure that the solar system doesn't cause further problems. So,
solar is our future, clearly, in so many ways, and that's why we're seeing panels and panels on roofs. But you mentioned something that I've heard quite a bit from some of my friends. I don't like how it looks. Right. I'm not doing it. Right. Is there in the future, because quite honestly, I've seen the panels getting a little bit more streamlined from 10 years ago when they first came in our orbit, right. Little chunky, and now I'm seeing a little bit more streamlined. What do you think the future of solar is regarding the look?
There are some panels that are what they call integrated. So they're actually tiles that have solar panels laminated on the top of them. And so those fit really nice in the landscape, but they still are a different color. So if you got a gray, let's say a red roof or whatever, and then all of a sudden you'll see black tiles. So there are some of those. There are some. The all black panels are really aesthetically nice, and there's the SunPower. I'm a SunPower dealer, so that manufacturer is creating a super elegant black panel that's supposed to be out in a couple of years, and so that will also help the aesthetics. Also, there's skirting you can do, and what we call is a flush mount system. What we'll do is we'll actually lower the panels and remove some of the tiles so that it can be mounted flush to the tiles. It does take some of the efficiency away because it's kind of interesting. You would think, when's the best time for solar panels? What would you guess?
Summer.
Right. Well, that's actually not true. It's actually in spring and fall, because if they're too hot, their efficiency goes down. So when they need to have a certain amount of be cool. So if you don't have good airflow underneath them, that'll cut down some of their efficiency.
Ah, gotcha. The airflow. It's important.
Yeah.
What do you suggest when people has anyone ever come to you and say, "Look, Chris, here's the deal. I want to do this. You fix my roof. I love your work. You're meticulous. You make sure everything's in working order, and I want to do solar. I don't like how it looks." What's the first thing you say? And has anyone come to you and said that?
Yeah, you can talk to my wife, actually.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, dead seriously. We have solar on our house, but she did not like the way it looks, and she likes the way to have a nice looking house, and we run into that a lot. I mean, people spend a lot of money on their houses. They're expensive out here, right? And we want them to look good. You can work. They don't always have to be south facing. There's always been that thing that they have to be south facing. they don't get as good a efficiency as they do, but the efficiency of panels has gone up quite a bit. So sometimes you can actually put them on your west side, east side, north side, and which might be the back of your house, and where it would be not as aesthetically displeasing, and you could still accomplish what you want with your solar. So that's what we would talk. That's what we would do first. Is I would get what we call a max fit on the house, and we would literally have our engineer put panels on the entire house, and then we could turn off panels and see what kind of efficiency we could get out of certain areas, and then talk to the customer and say, hey, if we put them over here on the left facing your neighbor's house, would that be okay with you, rather than just on the front of the house? So
that's a good idea, because we did that when we had our satellite dish for TV. We had our direct TV, and so many people had put them right in the front toward the garage. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna. Then I don't watch TV. Yeah. Because it was not gonna work for me. And they came out and they kind of did what you're talking about, like a little test of where we could get the best kind of connection. Not having it right where, in the front like that. Right. So you do have alternatives for those of us who want a pretty little perfect house.
Yeah, exactly.
I will talk to your wife about this. Yeah. We'll have a conversation.
Yes.
Chris is the owner, the founder, the CEO of August Roofing and Solar. It is augustroofing.com, just like the month.
Yes.
Augustroofing.com. What's really important to know, and again, learn something about the panels in the summer. Look at every time you're here, I learn something new. I'm going to have your job pretty soon, mister, is good. All I'm saying.
I'm looking to retire. So.
If you have questions, if you're thinking about doing some solar, know that there are a lot of fly-by-night companies.
Yes.
We get how many spam calls do you get personally, Chris, regarding this kind of thing? And it's such a big thing. Solar is so big right now, so popular. Try not to let money steer you. Try to let experience, which you have 37 years,
yes, that's
if
correct.
I remember correctly, experience, meticulous work, professionalism. Make sure you do your due diligence, do some research. Check this guy out, man. He's got the reviews. He's got the receipts. And you want to do the best job possible so you don't have to redo it. That's what we're always talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had 2 customers from this last huge rains. I mean, they were paying tens of thousands of dollars to have their solar system removed and put back on properly. So it's no joke.
Do it right the first time. Might be a couple of extra bucks, but do it right the first time, because then 10 years from now, you're not going to have to redo it. And when I say redo it, everything has to go. The roof, the solar has to come off. The roof has to get done. Don't put a new solar system on top of a bad roof, or just even an older roof, because it might be fine today, but in 2 years, it might not be. So you want to get the whole thing checked out. Do it. Call Chris, augustroofing.com. It's always a pleasure. Next time, bring the wife.
Maybe I will.
We'll talk to her. See what, female point of view about aesthetics and everything. Chris, always a pleasure. Have a great rest of your week.